Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of My Hero Academia Vigilante on episode 3. This episode right here was alright until towards the very end of the episode. So, if anything else, let's just get this started right away. We get to see Koichi doing his own daily routine, and when he got home, he sees his master unmasked, and we end up seeing Pop Step in her daily outfit and look, I guess, showing up at Koichi's home. We get to see that they actually took Koichi's home as a property shared room, I guess, which is really hilarious in a certain way. I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. Just take it for granted for what it has to be for Koichi. But eventually, when Pop Step or Pop was performing out on the streets, I kind of feel annoyed with her doing this kind of stuff. I don't know why. I don't know if it's either because she loves the attention or she just needs to do this just to get a thrill out of it. But it is what it is. All I know is the first time watching it, seeing her perform like this out in public, a little extreme, it was kind of annoying me a bit. Now, this is where the funny stuff comes in. Well, I don't think it should be funny in the first place. There's some little boy who seems to be a big fan of Pop Step or Pop. Eventually, the two guys that we saw in last episode who were about to fight each other actually convinced the boy to be patient and that you get to see her soon. But the boy could not handle it no more, so he activates a trigger drug that made him go full eel mode. Full eel mode? By that time, it made him go crazy and go after her in a certain way. And with the help of Knuckle Duster and Koichi, they managed, and with the help of Pop Step, reluctantly, if anything, they managed to subdue the freaking crazy eel boy. Well, eel quirk user. Well, yeah. Other than the situation at hand, we get to see that the quirk trigger drug is actually being a very problematic situation for society, especially when the eel boy confessed to the interrogation of what happened and that a stranger gave him the drug in order to get him to be where he is today. But other than the problem at hand, we get to see Pop. We get to see that Pop, on the other hand, who is in her whatchamacallit, her ordinary outfit. We get to see that she decides to work with Koichi to go figure out where to find the trigger drug at and possibly get some clues without Knuckle Duster, because Knuckle Duster is pretty crazy. Other than that, there is a girl who is a fan of Pop Step, but we also get to know that she's a part-time villain causing trouble or mayhem. I don't know why she's doing this, but she seems to be having an ability to use bees as quirk triggers to activate people's quirks in a very chaotic activity way. But by that time, when that happened, we get to see some heroes coming in to stop the rampage of quirks going on out of control because of the drugs. We get to see Airjet on the scene, a hero from there. Of course, we also see Ingenium on the way to help out as well. Then we get to see the other pro heroes in action, like I Eraserhead, President Mike, Best Genius, Midnight, Death Arms, and most importantly, Sniper, and of course All Might. They all showed up and easily subdued the villains, no problem with their power. Of course, All Might is always the best because, he's All Might. That's all I can tell you. So, yeah, pretty awesome stuff. And, of course, when it comes to Knuckle Duster grabbing a bee that has a quirk drug trigger, he tries to ask one of the people he knows about this thing, saying, "Hey, do you know who's a bee user of this? Because there's no way the heck it's possible for someone to actually cause this kind of mayhem without this kind of trouble." So eventually, we have to it that the eel boy ends up meeting up with that same part-time bee girl, ends up having to say, "Hey, come on, why don't you come with me for a little bit?" So there's nothing that they couldn't find at all, which is pretty pitiful. But other than that, no leads on the quirk trigger, on the trigger quirk yet. But the preview of next episode looks like to me there's gonna be some trouble along the horizon at night. So we may have some people helping out and a familiar face that we saw in the original My Hero Academia verse. So if anything else, the preview of next episode is called Top Runner. So looking forward to seeing that one in action. So yeah. Anyways, that's about it, people. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alphazito. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Ta-da!